So I think in terms of strategies, I would very much take cues from your community, understand within your space what is the appetite for these technologies. Remaining human-centered, I think, will help you and whatever organization you are building community within or whatever initiative you're putting forth in kind of a community-centered way. It will help you stand out. And if you can prove that humans are involved, it really will encourage, again, a lot of the great generative or like outcomes that community can deliver in the context of a business or any initiative. At the risk of rambling, I think the big takeaway for me when it comes to uh, using AI today is just if you're in doubt, talk to your customer, talk to the community members that you're serving, hop on a call, understand their context, their life, and really those one-to-one relationships can be kind of a source of inspiration on how to move forward. But I'll hand it off to you, Marjorie.
Great. Yeah, I 100% agree with the things that Jeremy said, and I think to the point of the fact that there's different ways to define AI because of that. When you're thinking about community strategy, you need to think about things like content. You need to think about things like the credibility of the space that you're curating with your members. What do I mean by that? So you can use AI for a plethora of things, and one of those things is generating content. And so when you think about, especially if you're running a community of practice, if you think about the way that people contribute in those spaces, whether that is through providing thought leadership, whether that is through coming up with a blog post or a quick video snippet of information to share with others within that space. Um, there's something to be said about the fact that someone can just generate that content through an AI model. And um, if you find yourself in a position where people are generating this information without there being any sort of fact checking or anything like that from their perspective to make it sound credible, whether it's true, any of that, then from a community perspective, then that space starts to lose credibility. And it's hard then to recognize when you have actual experts in a space versus whether you have people who are really, really smart at using tools to generate content to make them sound like they know what they're talking about. And there's no shade to using those sorts of tools to help you generate that content if you're going in and you're making the necessary updates and augmenting it. It's just like if you were to go and open up an encyclopedia and copy down the information that you needed. And yes, I'm aging myself by saying encyclopedia. I don't know if some of you even know what an encyclopedia is, but if you open up an encyclopedia and get that information, you still have to augment that and put it in your own words to show learning, right? And so when you're thinking about content strategies, what does peer review look like? What does checking for plagiarism look like? What does validating the content look like on your end? And so there needs to be controls in place for that when you're allowing those sorts of tools to be utilized within your community, and whether or not you're allowing them, because some folks will use that outside of the community space. So just things to be very aware of. Misuse of those sorts of tools can very quickly erode the credibility in a space, and you don't want to be on the receiving end of that.